Central Committee meeting of Monday, the 1st of February, and the Executive Council requested that meeting to deal with primarily two topics. The Democratic Party faction, given of course the importance of Central Committee meetings in general, but also the two topics on the agenda when it was apparent that the Executive Council could not muster a quorum for the meeting, decided to give it support so that the meeting could have gotten started. One of the two topics on the meeting of the Central Committee was a change to the Island Ordinance on Spatial Development, the so-called IROP of 1993. And according to that IROP, there are transition stipulations for the period before development plans are made. So what would happen in the event that there are no preparatory resolutions, no draft development plans on review, or no development plans itself? So there are stipulations that provide what happens in such a case, how do people then apply for planning permits and the like. And we were informed as part of that draft ordinance that there is a project to outsource the drafting of all remaining preparatory resolutions. We have been informed that this is in at SONA at the time. The faction of the Democratic Party requested that a copy of this project proposal be sent to the faction, but the essence of the draft change to the law had to deal with extending the period for the transition regulations, so that the period during which there is no preparatory resolution, draft development plan, or a development plan, the process that is in place for that period, that period has been extended for another 2 years. That's the essence of the draft ordinance that we dealt with in the Central Committee. The other matter in the Central Committee was a proposal by the Executive Council to approve the commissioning of a firm by the name of KEMA that would then give the island government independent cost quality control for the solid waste management processing facility on St. Martin. So in other words, that KEMA will be asked to provide a thorough evaluation of the project feasibility, the project for the solid waste management facility. The Democratic Party faction, on the basis of that proposal by the Executive Council, and why did it have to come to the Island Council? Because the amount involved in commissioning this firm is approximately 100,000 euros. So because of that, it came to the Island Council, and there were some questions, in fact, quite a few questions from our faction in any case, pertaining to the proposal. What exactly does the proposal entail? How far will the feasibility study go? Were some of the questions, as well as the question, what effect would the outcome of that study have at this time? Could it mean, for example, that the government would then have to renegotiate one or more parts of the proposed project or the proposed proposal? And so those were the questions that we posed. We needed to know where in the process are we now that we're going to have such a feasibility report done, and as the proposal states, to give the need for an independent document on all of these aspects, and the aspects are mentioned to be legislation and the contracts, waste, the technology that is going to be applied, as well as the matter of electricity. And then it states that the need for an independent document on all these aspects that can be used for decision support both by the government and the Parliament of the island of St. Martin. So a terms of reference was prepared. From what we understood, we did not receive that terms of reference, but what we did receive was the proposal by KEMA to execute that feasibility study or report. So as I said before, that was another item on the agenda for the Central Committee. The questions are to be answered. The Democratic Party indicated other than the faction of the National Alliance, because the faction of the National Alliance wanted the matter to come back again to